6, normally 3, 4, and 5 wide as they come through that dog leg. We're about to get underway with a championship race in the Xfinity Series. Relatively flat 1 and 2. Hardly any banking down there at that end of the racetrack, and then down the backstretch. They'll dive into a little more banking here in 3 and 4.
This is just a taste of what we're going to see tonight on these restarts with drivers getting 4, 5, 6 wide down the front straightaway through turns 1 and 2.
And even though the 18 of Daniel Hemric may have been strong in practice yesterday, it's the 22 who comes out of turn number 4, and he will win stage 1.
Hemric's able to get that position from John Hunter and Inject. That will maybe make things a little bit simpler and easier on that team on pit road.
This is the shortest way around the racetrack on the bottom. Oh, the 22 got slow right there. It's going to slow Algar up.
And the 54, Nemechek has to check up as the back end came around to stay off of the 7, and the caution comes out. A wreck on the backstretch.
Oh, man. Jeffrey Earnhardt in the 0 car has found contact with the wall or another competitor.
Jeffrey Earnhardt, son to Kerry Earnhardt. As we see him
fired up if he can,
trying to get that thing rolling once again.
I cannot imagine if that win would also be a championship. I mean, that's a moment. I'm having a hard time finding another analogy in sports that would be equal. It's like pinch hitting for the first time and getting a home run in the World Series. You know, like, it's just unbelievable.
The story with Daniel Hemric has been he hasn't won a race. He's run in the Cup Series. He's run in the Truck Series. He's run in the Xfinity Series. As we see the green and white checkered flag for Daniel Hemric, he wins stage 2.
The 9 of Noah Gragson, a slow pit stop, costs him some positions. He leaves pit road in 10th. Right here, front tire changer does a nice job trying to turn the tire around the nose of the car. Bounces off the splitter, rolls to the front. Look at this heads-up move by the Jackman right there. One hand, rolls it back to the pits. Slow stop, but saves the 9, a potential penalty. We haven't heard anything from NASCAR about that, which is a big break that they're in the #1 stall. Because, Rick, if they were deeper on pit road, they could be called for interference if that tire goes into another pit stall. But with no one pitting in front of them, it's a good break from the 9.
Jeff, you mentioned it earlier, TJ Semke and what he's able to do. And we go back to the 9, so he had to reset himself. He goes back up on the wall, resets, comes back around. And that right there, Steve, saved them from a penalty.
Yeah, the 9 wins this race, comes to Phoenix and wins the championship. Same gentleman, Chase Elliott's Jackman on the 9 of Gragson. He comes over here, Jack in one hand, tire in another, comes back around the tire changers. They're hanging their heads because it's a slow stop. In the end, though, a big difference between 5 or 6 spots and a penalty. Heads up once again for TJ Semke. And not only knowing the rules, but the athleticism.
Yeah.
I mean, when you get out of sync, it's kind of like a busted playing football. You have to kind of just use your athleticism to make something happen. 2 examples in back-to-back years.
Cindric has moved up to 2nd. Hemric up front.
Oh, we got a big crash into turn 1. Hard lick for the 17 car. Joe Graff Jr. driving that car this weekend.
Yeah, Joe Graff
just
Jr.
ran right into the back of you.
For Rick Ware Racing, into the wall hard there.
J.J. Yaley sometimes drives this car, but this weekend it's not Joe Graff Jr.
Don't drive it.
It's broke the rear glass in that
The
car.
31 got us.
Big impact. You see the window net down and Joe moving around in the car, getting the steering wheel off.
Heard the spotter saying Sage Karam driving a 31 got into him.
There's the AMR safety crew immediately attending right now to Joe Graff Jr.
To see if we can get a replay to see what happened there. But Sage driving in only his 4th Xfinity start.
Driving for Jordan Anderson. Sage, an IndyCar driver that's finished 7th in the Indy 500 earlier this year.
Here we go. Top of your screen right there. It's already kind of happening. Some hard licks. You're going really fast down that front straightaway. A lot of speed into turn 1.
So that means another restart, and it means a mandatory trip for Joe Graff Jr. to the Infield Care Center. We'll be back for that restart in just a moment. Coming up on the restart, it'll be 95 to go. From Phoenix, Hemric on the outside, Nemechek on the inside.
This is the scary part for like the 18 of Hemric. You take the top because this is the best advantage, but you're so vulnerable with that guy below you. If he slides up in you, makes any sort of contact, it can be troublesome.
Inside line worked for Nemechek. He's still door to door with Hemric, and Hemric goes a little bit lower on the racetrack and able to clear easily the 54.
Yeah, Hemric comes down the racetrack, didn't use the grip, took a little bit of side force off the 54, didn't allow him to throttle up off the corner so he could take the spot. Now the 54's moved up the racetrack behind him, trying to fend off the 22 of Cindric. Caution back out on the racetrack.
Caution comes out. Safety trucks coming out on the track.
You got a car smoking down the back straightaway.
Looks like the 5.
Yeah, it looks like the 5. Matt Mills.
He's had some contact with the wall.
Matt.
See the damage on the right rear.
Run over 93 races over 5 years, and the damage to that one might end his night tonight.
A little tire mark or two there on the door. You have to wonder if somebody got into the left side of, look at the top of the screen right there. Oh, again. Is that the 31 again? Sage Karam? Sure is.
Yes.
2 for 2 into turn 1 for Sage.
Take another look. We heard there was a vibration as he's working his way through 1 and 2.
Back end just rolled right around on it on corner entry.
So Steve, 19 laps to go in this race. Listen in. Chief, tell him. How aggressive can he be? 7 laps to go.
They both go to the bottom of the racetrack. Oh, the
Way
9.
up into the wall. The 9 of Noah Gragson. Gragson hit hard into the wall through 1 and 2.
He sent that car way too hard into turn 3. Saw an opportunity because these two guys went to the bottom. Now we got a tight race for the championship here off of turn 4.
And behind him, Noah Grexon's falling way back. Without a caution, contact 2 cars in the wall in turn 3.
Yeah, that's a big wreck.
Jade Buford in the 48. You see the front of that car destroyed. Fluid already coming out of it. The 92 also with Josh Williams damage to the right side of that car.
We were
and
watching
now
that.
There's going to be a cleanup here.
Well, I was going to say, we were watching that battle for the lead. I really believe once Cindric got that clean air, Dale Jr. burden, man, this is going to be tough. And then here comes Hemric back to his left rear quarter panel. We were getting ready to see side by side into turn 1. Very impressive. And then you mentioned Noah. I mean, he just cooked it off in there. He was going for everything, and he jumped the cushion, right? He went over the limit. I appreciate what's he say. He's the showman. He's here to put a show on. It was unfortunate too far this time, but
here's a replay of the crash here in turn 3.
Yeah, I'm not sure what caused it. It's kind of late there.
Yeah, it's already began down the back straightaway. It's possible that these two got together in the middle of the back straightaway, and this carried on into turn 3. But I don't think I expected anybody. See, this is Noah getting in the corner. He's already loose, out of control, and I didn't expect the 2 leaders to go to the bottom. I really didn't, and I don't know that Noah did either. And I think, when they went to the bottom, it kind of might have threw Noah off a little bit. And he's like, oh, I got to get out to the outside of them or try to find a way to get to their right rear quarter panel.
And what can Noah Gragson do back there in row 3? You know he's not going to just sit back there and wait for something to happen.
We are in overtime, presented by Credit One Bank as they come back to the green flag.
Oh, man. Even launch. side by side.
Look at the 22 went way down the racetrack trying to side drive the 18.
Right here's where Hemric needs to find a way to get into the gas a little sooner. The 22 takes that momentum.
Side drafting down the backstretch.
Oh, he's going to get loose. The 18 gets a little loose, slides up the track. No contact. But it did move the 22 up the racetrack. He wasn't able to finish the corner, so.
One more time around.
Daniel's still right there. What will he do?
The two fighting for the win and the championship. Through 1 and 2. They stay side by side. Now the 18 ducks in behind. One more chance. The 22 in front. The 18 closing the gap. Out of 4. They're side by side. Hemric's going to win it at the line. Daniel Hemric just silenced the doubters. He's made his own history. Daniel Hemric wins. He's the Xfinity Series champion.
You got it. How about that, champion? Your first win. You'll never have to answer that stupid question again. Never again. Never again.
5 feet. 5 feet for the 2021 championship in the Xfinity Series.